This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, good afternoon or good evening. Of course, you cannot hear me earlier because I wasn't speaking, so don't worry about that. Right. Now, let us start our today's session. And here we are going to talk about our next important concept, which is if statement. So, what is that if condition or if statement? How it is going to work along over here? See if also do the same thing what the case statement has done. Control the flow, and it will allow you to work only with that particular concept which is needed by user. So before we can go with if condition, see whenever you are working with if condition, if has to be followed by some expression. So what happens if we'll check with that expression or with that condition, is it true or false or whatever it might be. If that condition is true, the thing it will proceed, or if it is false, it will go for the other thing, kind of thing. So if must be followed by some condition or some expression. So what are those conditions or expressions that we can put within if condition? Let's try to work with that. See, basically what happens is we will be using some test command or test brackets, you can say, in which you can perform the test. What kind of test I can go with? See, you can go with file testing. File testing means to check whether file is there or not. If file is there, is it a regular file or is it an directory? Is it empty or non-empty? Right? Like that, you can perform file test. Then we have a very important test, string comparison or string test, where you can check whether the given input from the user is empty or not. At cases, it is really important to check whether the given input is empty or non-empty. Because suppose you are doing calculation, you need value of A and you need value of B. Suppose when I ask user to type some value, he is leaving empty. What will you calculate? So in that scenario, string comparisons are really important. And one more option is there, numerical comparison, to compare between two numbers. Then we have something called compound expression. A very lengthy concept would be going on now. So let's proceed and see how can I check the file. See, you can go like this. Either you can go test option file, or within a bracket you can give option file. Test you can use on command line directly, and this bracket and condition you can use within if condition inside your script. Both are fine. So what we can test, suppose you can test here, many options are there. You see here you can test whether file exists or not by using -e, or you can check whether the file is regular file or not, or you can test whether the file has SGID applied or not, or does it have a symbolic link, does it have a sticky bit applied on the top of it or not, or does it have read permission or not, does it have write permission or not, does it have execute permission or not, whether the size is 0 or empty. You want to check whether the file is a 0 byte file or it is non-empty, so you can check that also, right? So many options are there what you can check when you go with test command or the test bracket. Let me show you how to use it. Let me give username and password. Suppose guys, I want to check whether a file exists or not. So I can use a command test option E, and I can say check whether this file exists or not. Now how to find was it successful or not? Echo dollar question mark. So you see 0 means successful. That means your last command what you have executed is successful. Suppose I'll say passwords. It says 1. There is no such file with this name. Suppose you want to check whether the file exists and does it have read permission or not. Echo dollar question mark. Yes, it has. Right? So like that, you can test whether the file exists or not with various options, whatever I have discussed. Same thing, you can check it out. You can also check is it a 0 byte file? Test hyphen s echo dollar question mark. The size is greater than 0, right? It is not less than 0. S means what? True if the file exists and has size greater than 0. That means this file is not non-zero file. It has more than 0 value. That means it is not an empty file. It contains something. Then you can do the same test within bracket also. Maybe you can use this square bracket. Space you have to give at the beginning. Suppose I would like to see whether file exists or not. Which file? etc password and space. You see at the beginning I have to give space, at the end I have to give a space. That is compulsory. Now echo dollar question mark exit. Passwords echo dollar question mark does not exist, right? All that testing you can perform. Anything, whatever it might be, you can just test it out whether that file exists or not. So I think Kishore, you need to check your side internet, as I always check that screen is printing or not. So I can see from my side screens are going, and Maruti also confirm. Please check your side internet if it is fine or not. Okay, now using this concept, let us create one if condition. See, let me first explain you the syntax of if condition. So I'll go for if, then you need to go with some condition. Let us call it condition, right? So you need to say if that condition matches, then what to do? You need to mention what command you want to run. And you see, if has to be closed, and we will close if by using fi. Like case we have closed with esac, esac. Same way, if must be closed with fi. Everything generally what we open needs to be closed. Square bracket, close with this other thing, or if must be closed with fi, case must be closed with esac, something like that. So let me create a very simple script to use a very simple if. I'll go with our command myscript to create a new command, a new file. We'll go with script to, sorry, use simple if. I'll say if given file, right? Maybe you can ask people to type whether that file exists or not. So I'll say read minus p, please type full path of file to such, and I'll store it in a variable called file. Now I'll say if I'm going to check whether that file exists or not. So I'll say file hyphen e, and what I'm checking the file. Let me call the variable. So I'm just checking whether the file mentioned by the user exists or not. See, you can go with then in next line. or in the same line you can give semicolon and say then. You can print a message. What message? Maybe you can say file exist, then close if. See guys, we are first asking user to type the full path, what you want to search, where you want to search, and then with if we are checking whether that file exists or not. So I'm checking whether that file exists or not. If the file exists, then I'm printing a message that yes, the file exists. If not, what to do, then I'll show you that later. So we have script 17.sh. Let me print script 17.sh. Please type full path. Maybe I will say etc shadow. It says file exists. Suppose again I'll run the script and I'll say etc fs tab exist. Maybe I'll say etc xyz. Now here it is not doing anything. If file exists, it is telling me file exists. But what if file does not exist? So I want my if condition to do something else if file is not available. So this concept will give rise to our second if condition. First, what we have seen is simple if. Now what we are going to talk about is if then else. So here also we'll start with if some condition and we'll say then. If that condition is true, then I would like to run one command. If it is not true, then I'll go with else part. And here I'll say command 2. So if condition is true, then go for this option. If condition is not true, then go for next option. And if must be closed with fi always. This is called if then else statement. So let us go for that. I'll copy this script instead of creating again. Script 17.sh with a new name script 18.sh. Let us go to script 18.sh. Script to use if then else. So if file exists, print this thing, else print this thing. File doesn't exist. Save and quit. Let us run the script 18.sh. I'll say etc fs tab doesn't exist. I'm sorry. etc fs tab. It says file exists. But if I say something etc xyz, it says file doesn't exist. So if it matches, it is running file exist. If it is not matching, then it is telling doesn't exist. So this is the way how we can use simple if and then if then else. Now we'll elaborate the usage of this if condition, but before that, let us go with some other test. See here, we can perform one more very important test, which is called as string test. See guys, string test is what? Guys, here I want to check whether the given input by the user is empty or non-empty, or whether the given string is matching to some other string or not. So how we can do that? You can go by these options, guys. To check whether the string is zero length, that means there is no input given by user, empty. You can check it by using -z. To check whether the given is non-zero length, that means it contains something, user has typed something, it is not empty, then you can go with -n. To check whether the first value is matching second value or not, you can say string1 equals string2. Or you can check whether first value is not matching to second value by going with string 2. Like an example mentioned in your manual, let me show you one thing. I'll create a variable, an empty variable. Nothing is there inside it. Now, how can I check whether that variable contains anything or is it empty? See, we'll go with this test bracket and I'm checking whether the variable has zero length data. See, whenever you are testing the string, always remember that string test, when you are checking some string or some variable, please put that variable in double quotes. Sometimes what happens when you give empty, nothing, so your script may not evaluate that empty value what you have given. So to evaluate it, better to go with that double quote. I'll say check whether dollar variable is empty or not. Starting with a space, ending with a space, and string should be mentioned within double quotes. Now if I say echo dollar question mark, you see it is empty. Is it non-empty? It says no, it is not empty. It is an empty string. Or maybe you want to compare two things. So you can say here whether ABC is equals to XYZ. See guys, starting with space, here also space, that you have to take care. Don't make mistakes over there. Now echo dollar question mark. It is telling ABC is not equals to XYZ. Or if I say ABC is equals to ABC, it says yes. I'll show you a very nice example to check these strings also. So this is the way you can check whether the given input is empty or non-empty, or the value what you got matches to what you are expecting or not, right? I'll put it into an example to make it more clear. But first of all, let me show you how and where we can use checking that empty strings. Let me copy that script 18.sh with another name script 19.sh. Now let me go to script 19.sh. Over here, I'll say script to use if then else with string check. See here, I'm getting some input from the user. I'm expecting user to type some input. I'm telling type something so that I can search. If user types something, then I can search. If user is leaving empty, what my script can do? Nothing. So in that scenario, what I'll do, I'll put a if condition here. I'll say if there is zero length given in this variable file, then what to do? Then I'll say echo invalid input. See guys, when people are not typing anything, not giving anything, we should not continue with the script. What we will do with continuation? So I'll say exit, come out of the script, no need to continue. So you see now, when I say dot slash script 19.sh, it is expecting some input. Now if I don't give any input, oh my god, why it is telling file exist? It should come out. If zero length is given to dollar file, then echo invalid input. That is perfect. Where is the mistake I'm doing? Let me just check that out. I'm so sorry. How to call a variable, guys? I'm absolutely sorry. I should use dollar file, right? I just mentioned the variable name, but I want to call that variable. So dollar was missing. I'm sorry. Now, guys, if I don't type anything, it says invalid input. If I type something, for example, I'll say ABC. It says no, that file does not exist. So here I am checking whether the given input is empty. If the given input is empty, I don't want to continue. My script says invalid input and it gets exists, right? So this is the way you can check. Same thing you can put within your calculator script also. Suppose I'll say script 16 was that. Here I am doing read all that. Let us copy the script and check whether the given input is empty or not. So let me say copy script 16.sh with a new name 20.sh. So let us go with script 20.sh. See here, I'm simply performing that activity. If user does not give any input, what my script will do? Nothing. So here what you can do, you can go for if condition. You can say if check whether there is zero length given for $A. If it is zero length, then print this message, echo invalid input. Exit the script. No need to continue if there is no input. Close it. Same thing I will do with here also. I'll say if zero length I'm getting for $B, then what? Same result. I would like to say echo invalid input and then exit it. No need to continue. So same thing you can do it here also, that you can say please select an operator, and after that also you can perform an if condition whether given input is empty or not. If it is empty, no need to continue, right? But anyway, here it is handling that even if you say empty, it would print this thing. It would say that invalid, try again. Anyway, let us save and quit. Now I'll go for script 20 dot slash script 20, first value empty, out, first value 100, second value empty. Oh, maybe I did some mistake. If zero length for $A, then echo invalid input, exit fi. What is the mistake here? Space. I'm so sorry guys. We should start with space and end with space. So my mistake was I did not give space. Okay, first value 100, second value empty, out, first value empty, out. And here if I say 120, now if I give empty, it is handling, it is telling invalid operator, try again, right? So like that, what you can do, you can check the strings every time the given input is empty or non-empty. If it is empty, we'll not continue. If it is non-empty, then we will try to continue. Now you see the script what we created last time, script 20.sh. Here we have used case statement matching the cases. Is it matching add, subtract, multiply, divide? Same thing we can convert with if condition. See, either you can go with case statement if you like, or you can go with if condition. So here I'm just trying to give a choice over here, either this one or that one kind of thing, right? So how can I convert the same script with if condition? Let us copy it for saving some time. Script 20.sh convert into 21.sh. Let us copy, sorry, not convert. Okay, so script to do calculation using function with if command. See, everything remains the same. First of all, I'm taking input of A, then performing check is it empty or not. If it is empty, no need to continue. Then taking the input of B, checking is it empty or not. If it is empty, no need to continue. If both are non-empty, then I'm calling the function calc, which is asking the question, what would you like to do? Would you like to go with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or exit, right? And storing that information in a variable called OP. Now, last time we did with case condition, case statement. Now I don't want to use case. So let me just remove that case. And here I would like to perform if condition. See here, I need to go with string comparison, checking whether the input is add. If it is add, perform addition. If it is subtract, perform subtraction. If it is multiplication, perform multiplication, like that. So how to compare the string? See guys, I'll say if the value mentioned in OP is equals to what? Add. Comparing two strings, I'm checking whether the value given in OP matches to add. If it is matching to add, then what to do? See here, I'll say then perform this task. Say echo go for $A, $B. Then close if condition. Then second thing, if not, I would like to check. See, instead of typing again and again, why not to copy this? So if $OP matches to subtract, then what to do? See, I would like to perform this activity, then close if condition. Then third, if $OP matches multiply, then perform this activity and close if condition. If it matches divide, then perform this activity F5. If it is matching, the last thing, exit, then perform this activity then F5, right? This last line I don't need as of now. So what we can do here is maybe in future I may use it. So I'm commenting it. I'm putting with a hash mark so that it may not work. So you see here, I am taking input from the user and checking whether given input matches to add or subtract or multiply or divide or exit. Whichever is matching, it is going to perform that activity for us. Now let me save and quit. Let us go for script21.sh. Oh, I have to remove ESAC because there is no case statement. Why ESAC should be there? I'm sorry. Okay, first value I'm leaving empty out. First value I'm giving 100, second value empty out. So checking the string empty non-empty is working fine. First value something, second value something. Now it is asking you to type something. Suppose I'll say add. Perfect. Subtract, multiply, divide, exit. So you see all it worked the same way how we worked with the concept of case statement. Now I'll give you one more example. Suppose you want one script to check particular service is running or not. If that service is running, don't do anything. If service is not running, I want to start that service. Okay, any given service, I want to check that. Maybe we are working with a script to configure FTP. So I need to check VSFTPD is running or not. So let us create such script here. I'll go with my script. I'll say script to check status of service. Okay, so let me print a message. I'll say echo checking the status of a script. But checking the status of script required numerical comparison or not. Let's see. Checking the status of VSFTPD service, or you can take input from the user and check which service they want. Okay, so how can I check the status of any service whether it is running or not? See, I cannot say systemctl status, output will be very big. So here we can use a command systemctl is active, which service? VSFTPD. Simply it will print whether the service is active or not, right? Maybe what we can do here to make it more worth, you can create a variable here, ser, and put this command inside it. That would be better, because whenever I call the variable, some output it will get and it will get stored inside this thing. Now I will perform the check, guys. I'll say if dollar $ser matching to a word called active, then what would you do? I'll say echo VSFTPD is running. Else, you can ask, shall I activate it for you or not? You can say echo uh, VSFTPD is not running, right? First of all, we'll do this much only, then I'll make it more interesting, right? Let me save and quit. So let us run script 22.sh. See, checking the status of VSFTPD service, it says VSFTPD is running. Let me just check it out. Systemctl status VSFTPD. It is active. Let me disable it. Systemctl stop VSFTPD. So you see it is inactive. Now if we run our script, you see it is telling you that VSFTPD is not running. Now here I would like to add one more thing. Would you like to start it? So you can add in else part read minus p. Do you want to start? Uh, do you want to start VSFTPD service? Give answer in yes or no. Okay. Now I would like to store this in option. Now, okay. Now in this scenario, we have to use one more if condition inside it. Then, if given output is yes, go for this. Given output is that, go for that. So maybe this thing may not work properly in this scenario. Mm, 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 mm. Now I thought we can do like this, but I don't think it is possible. We are taking input, but again we need to put a string test. So inside if I need to put one more if condition, then it would become else nested if. Nested if means inside if using one more if condition, right? Let us try it out and see will it work or not. I'll say if $OP matches to yes, then systemctl start
Start
vsftpd,
VSFT.
right? And maybe you can run a message echo vsftpd is now started. Okay, let's see will it work or not. Okay, it says vsftpd is not working. Let me say why. Systemctl status vsftpd. You see it got activated. Again inside it you can add one more else part, like if you have given, maybe let me come back to it, and maybe if you said no, then what to do? Else you can say echo exiting. So it is becoming interesting now. Let us stop the service. Systemctl stop vsftpd. Now I'll say run the script. It says vsftpd is not running. If I say no, exit the script. If I say yes, vsftpd is now started. So did you understood the concept, guys, how we have used here? See, the concept what I have shown you here is called as nested if, guys, right? Nested if means using another if condition within if condition. That means first if condition I'm checking service is active or not, right? But in else part I am going with one more if condition. So whenever you are calling if condition inside an if condition, this is called as nested if, using if within if, right? Or you can go with another very nice if condition, the last if condition, which is called as elif ladder, right? So you have seen nested if also, right? Nested if means calling if condition within if condition. So I'll say if the condition is true, then perform this command. Else look for another if condition. If that condition matches, then go for next activity. Or inside it also you can put another if condition. But two times you have to close this then. So I'll say command, whatever command you want to run, close it there and close it here. So two times I have to open if condition and two times I have to close it. Or the fourth one is even better of all, right? Which is called as else if lad. See here what I'll do. Reverse of nested if is else if ladder. You can say if this condition matches, then perform this thing. Command 1. But if it is not matching, don't close the if condition. Here I will say if it is not matching, Then look whether another condition is matching or not. Suppose I'll say check second condition is matching. If it is matching, then perform this activity, command 2. If it is also not matching, then perform third command, maybe condition 3. If that also not matching, okay, let's go with command 3. If that also not matching, then I'll go with else, command 4, and I'll close it. So you see, let me put it here. So you see we are opening if condition one time. First I'm checking for this condition. If it is true, then I'm telling perform this command. If it is not true, then check some other condition. If this is true, then perform this activity. If that is also not true, perform this activity. If none of them is true, go with else part. So this is called if ladder, applying multiple conditions within single if. Now I'll give you a very beautiful example with that to understand perfectly. We created this script 21.sh, right? Let me just use the same script for elif ladder. I'll say script 21.sh and I want to create 23.sh. Let me go with script 23.sh. Same can be applicable in that service script also. So everything remains same. I am taking the input from the user, what you want to do. Would you like to go with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or excel? You see, every time I'm checking here, if operator is add, perform this, then closing if. Then if checking for subtract, closing it. Then if checking for multiply, closing it. Every time I'm opening, closing, opening, closing. So how to simplify it? So here we'll go with elif ladder. See guys, first thing I will check, is it matching add or not? If it is not matching, then I'm not going to close if condition. See here, I'll say elif. Check if it is not matching first condition, is it matching subtract? Then no need to close it. Next thing, I'll go for third condition. If second also not matching, check does it match third? If that also it is not matching, then I'll go for fourth condition. If that also it is not matching, then I'll go for fifth condition, right? If nothing is matching, it is not matching add, it is not matching subtract, multiply, divide, or exit, then I like to go with else. Maybe you have typed something else. You have not typed addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, but you have typed something else. So in this scenario, what I'll do, I'll go with this command, echo you have given invalid operator. Finally, I will close it. So you see, one time I am opening if and one time I am closing. Between them, all conditions I am putting with the help of elif. Maybe if not this, something else, like that. Same thing you can put in the service script also. Maybe you can see whether the given condition matches to yes, perform this. If not, check whether it is performing no, go for something, right? So nested if also can be used, or elif ladder, where you are checking many things. Elif ladder is wonderful. You have to only open one time if condition and close it one time. That's it, right? Now let me save and quit, right? I'll say script 23.sh. First input empty, out. 100, second input empty, out. First input 100, second input 20, it proceed. I'll say add, subtract, multiply, divide, XYZ. See, if I type something else, it is telling no, you have given something else wrong. Now if I say exit, then it is exiting. So this is the way how you can use different types of if conditions with all these options wherever you like. By see, I'm trying to teach you logic. Now you take this logic and apply in different scenarios where you will be needing in your working culture. That is not done yet. See, we have one more concept called numeric comparison. Now what is that numerical comparison? See, checking between two numbers. How can I check? See, you can check whether first integer is equal. Equal is represented by EQ. Then second integer or not. Or first integer not equals to integer 2. Or first integer less than integer 2. First integer less than equals to integer 2. First integer greater than integer 2, or first integer greater or equals to integer 2. So in this numerical operations, the concepts that are supported goes like this, guys. You can go for equals, you can go for not equals, you can go for greater than, or you can go for greater than equals to, or you can go for less than, or you can go for less than equals to. Any of these options, whatever you like, you can go for it. Equal, not equal, greater than equals to, less than or less than equals to, right? These are the five operations what you can perform with number. See here, when you are doing numeric operations, you don't need double quotes. You can simply put like this in a bracket, 10 is equals to 11. Echo dollar question mark. No. 10 is greater than 11. No. 10 is greater than equals to 11. No. 10 is less than 11. Yes. Sorry, less than equals to 11 or less than 11. So you see all these things you can do. You can compare the number. Suppose you are looking for memory to reach 80%. 80 is a number. So maybe you always test it by getting the result and checking whether the result what you got is more than 80 or less than 80. If it is more than 80, you want to do some activity. If it is less than 80, then you want to do other activity, right? But I'll tell you the fantastic usage of numeric operator. Let me discuss one scenario with you, a small scenario. Suppose guys, you are creating a script. In that script, these operations you want to perform. What? Create a new partition. Okay. After creating, maybe updating kernel, all that thing. Then format the partition. Okay. Then copy data from old partition to new. Then fourth, delete old partition. Now guys, I run the script, and in the first step, I found out that there is no space remaining in your hard disk to create a partition. Obviously, first command itself will fail. No result. Acha, if partition is not created, do you think it is going to get format? So there is no partition, formatting will also fail. If it failed, no partition created. What data will be migrated from old partition to new when there is new partition is not available? And the last is delete old partition. Guys, old partition exists. It may get deleted. So without moving the data, your fourth partition get deleted and you lose all the data. Now why it happened, guys? Because in each step you did not check whether your previous command was successful or not. You simply get into a flow. Do partition creation, then format, then copy, then delete. Every step you are not checking whether your previous activity was successful or fail. See, if my previous activity is successful, then only I would like to go with next activity. Otherwise, I don't want to go. Why would I go? Yes or no? So how can I check every step whether my previous command was successful or failure? If it is successful, go ahead. If it is failure, no need to go. See, let me show you that scenario. I need a second machine also. Let me power on our second machine for this. Maybe I will create a simple script to perform ping test and know whether last command is successful or not. So guys, here let us create a new script. I'll say script to check network connectivity. I will take input from the user. Read minus p. Please type the IP to check. Whatever IP users are giving, I will store it in a variable called IP. Now, how can I run ping command to check it? See, I'll not leave ping command forever to run ping command. I'll say ping just three times you ping. Which IP? $IP. And whatever output is generating, I don't want to display that output. Let us go back to our previous class in scripting, how to hide the output. I'll say whatever output is coming, send it to dev null. No need to display the output. So here I'm taking the input, then I'm checking ping command. Is the command pinging or not? Sorry, if the machine pinging or not. Now, how can I check whether my last command was successful or not? So I'll say if. See, how can I check previous command? I can say dollar question mark. If the result of my previously executed command is equals to 0. See, 0 means successful, non-zero means failure. So if it is equals to 0, then what would you like to do? I would like to say echo dollar IP is pinging. Else, I would like to print a message echo dollar IP is not pinging. Let me go with FI. So you see guys how important dollar question mark here. Dollar question mark may give some number. So I'm comparing the number that the number I got is equals to 0 or not. Then I'm coming to a decision that it was successful or failure. Now let me save and quit. Script 24. Let us run it. I'll say 192.168.10.20. So it says it is pinging. Now if I run the command and if I say 192.168.10.30, it's not pinging because that IP is not available, or maybe there is no machine which has that IP. So here the decision is coming from that dollar question mark. I told you previously that if you want to debug or understand a script, you can run it in debug mode by using bash-x script 24.sh. See, it is executing this command asking for input. I'm giving 192 168.10.20. Pinging. Result came is 0. So it checks 0 is equals to 0. Yes, it is pinging. Right? If I give something else, 192, 168, 10.100, the result I got is 1. 1 is not equals to 0, so I got the result. Right? So this is how numeric comparison will help you to understand whether your last command is successful or not, or maybe in case when you are expecting an output in number, you can test whether the number what you got is above this value or below this value. Like that, you can come to a decision. Now, the last thing, guys, where we are trying to learn a very beautiful concept called compound expression. See, we created one script previously, script 23.sh. Guys, here I'm taking two values, value of A, then I'm checking is it empty or not, then coming to a decision. Then next I'm checking value of B, coming to a decision. How about if I can test both values at a time instead of checking separately? So taking two values and evaluating at a time is nothing but compound expression, using more than one value at a time. So what is that compound expression? Let us try to understand that also. See, there are many examples in your manual. Kindly refer to it and practice that also. So where is that compound expression here? See, oh, so sorry. So compound expression is nothing but mixing two values and coming to a result. Guys, when we go with compound expression, we uses some logics here. What are those logics? See here, we work with two concepts called logical and the other one is logical or, to evaluate two expressions at a time. See, the condition of logical and is it or final result will be true if both expressions are true. Suppose you are taking two input for A and B. So A is empty and B is empty. So both results are true, then only logical and will tell that the final result is true. But logical or is little lenient. Final result will be true if any one expression is true. So out of all, if one expression is also true, then logical or result will be true. Logical and is strict. It needs both expression answer to be true, then logical and will say I am true. Logical or is lenient. Out of both value, if any one value is true, then the final result will call as true, right? See, logical and is represented by hyphen a, and logical or is represented by hyphen o. Now let me create one beautiful diagram for you to explain this concept. Just give me a second. Huh? Let me take a sketchboard for you. Okay, so let me draw a table. Suppose guys, 0 means true and 1 means false. Now I'm going to evaluate few things here. I want to go with expression 1 and expression 2. And what would be the result for logical and and logical or? Suppose expression 1 is true, expression 2 is also true. Both values are true, so logical AND says okay, end result is true. Logical OR need any one to be true, so obviously it will also say true, no problem. Suppose first expression is true, second expression is false. Logical AND is very strict here. It says both values must be true, then only I'll be true. If any one is false, then the total statement will become false, right? Whereas logical OR need only one fellow to be false. So it says what? No problem. If any one is true, then end result will be true. Same thing, first expression is false, second expression is true. Same result, no difference. Suppose first expression is false, second expression also false. See, both statements are false. What logical AND is telling? Any one is, both are true, then the final statement is true. But both are false here. So both are false, that means end result will also be false. And logical OR also will become false. Both are false, end result will be false. So like that, you can club two values into one and you can find out whether your previously taken inputs will be true or false. Let me put it into a script and show you how it will be helpful. Same this script what we have seen, script 23, I'm going to copy and show you. I'll say copy script 23 into another script, script 25. Okay, so I'll say script 25.sh. So let me go to script 25.sh. At the bottom, I'll come. See here, separately two values I'm testing. Now here what I'll do, I'll ask it, take first value, right? And then I'm not going to do any test here only. Then I'll take second value, take the value of A, take the value of B. Now here I will combine both results and come to a final decision. I'll say if given value has zero length for $A, or I have zero length for $B. So you see I am mixing two things. I am checking whether first value is empty or second value is empty. See what I want, A value should not be empty, B value should not be empty. So here I am telling if any of the given value is empty, I don't want to continue, right? So I'll say echo invalid input. See guys, I'm taking input of A, taking input of B. Then I'm evaluating if A is empty or B is empty. Any one out of two is empty, I don't want to continue, right? So you see guys how it lowered the burden of our script. Script 25.sh. Now when I hit enter, see I'm taking value 100, second value empty. It says invalid input. First value empty, second value 20, invalid. If I give both correctly, 100 and 20, then it is going for next thing. Let's test it again with bash command. Bash -x script 25.sh. See, it is reading the first value. I'll say 100. Second value I'll leave empty. So you see it is checking that first value, is it 0? No, it is 100. Second value, is it empty? Yes, it is empty. So if any one is empty, then this command got executed and it says you are not allowed to continue. So taking two input and evaluating under one condition is nothing but compound expression, where you can do compound expression by using hyphen O for logical or hyphen A for logical. Guys, I hope you understood today's class. It was many things to work with. Practicals are compulsory, and there are few examples what I have mentioned. There are few examples what I have mentioned in the script in your manual. Please go through that also, try those scripts also, and let me know if you are facing any difficulty. So I will stop here only, guys. Please watch this video again, practice that, then come up with doubts. Thank you very
Hello.
much, guys. Yes, Kishore.
Hi, Mr. Actually, the